Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're looking into Australia's skills and demand visa. That's the Subclass 482.
Right.
And really, for you listening, if you're curious about where global job opportunities might be, well, this visa gives a pretty direct look into Australia's current needs. Our goal today is basically to map out the top job areas Australia is trying to recruit for right now. We're pulling this straight from an article that lists these roles.
Yeah, and it's quite revealing, isn't it? This visa, it almost acts like an economic signal.
A signal. How so?
Well, it shows exactly which skills Australia believes it needs most to, keep the economy growing strong. It's not just about filling any job.
Oh.
It's really a strategic play to bring in very specific kinds of expertise.
Got it. So let's dive into what the article highlights then. First up, it seems, is healthcare. Big time.
Oh, absolutely. Top of the list.
Yeah, it mentions a really strong demand for registered nurses, GPs, general practitioners, and various medical specialists, too.
That's right. It looks like the Australian healthcare system is actively, trying to pull in international talent.
To sort of bolster their services.
Exactly. And if you think about the bigger picture, well, lots of developed countries are dealing with similar things, right?
Like aging populations.
Aging populations,
Yeah.
growing demand for healthcare. Australia's approach here, using this visa so proactively, it just underlines how urgent these specific shortages are for them.
Okay, that makes sense. Shifting gears then. The tech sector, also very prominent in the article.
No surprise there.
Right. It points to a serious need for software engineers, data scientists, cybersecurity folks. Given how fast everything's going digital, that probably feels expected.
It is expected, but still critical. The demand for these, digital skills, it's everywhere.
And not just tech companies.
Oh, no. Think finance, agriculture, even manufacturing.
Yeah.
They all need this kind of expertise now for innovation, for efficiency. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, it raises that question for anyone listening. How current and, frankly, how in demand are your own digital skills on a global stage?
Good point. Okay, another really vital area the article brings up is the skilled trades.
Ah, yes, the hands-on skills.
Exactly. Electricians, plumbers, carpenters, mechanics.
Yeah.
They're all listed as being in high demand.
And these are just fundamental, aren't they, for building and maintaining basically everything. Infrastructure, homes.
Yeah.
Precisely. We often talk about AI and cutting-edge tech. But these essential trades, they're still the absolute bedrock of a functioning economy. And the consistent need for them is interesting.
What does that suggest?
It suggests pretty robust activity in construction, development, maintenance sectors. Things are getting built and fixed.
Right. The article also puts a spotlight on engineers. Specifically, civil and structural engineers seem to be needed.
That fits the picture, yeah.
Yeah.
Considering Australia's ongoing infrastructure projects.
And maybe a focus on sustainability.
Could be. Plus, just think about Australia's geography. Expanding cities, the need for resilient infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's continuous demand.
So engineers with that kind of background are obviously highly valued.
Very much so. They're key contributors to that kind of planned growth.
Okay, so wrapping this part up, if your background is in, say, healthcare, tech, one of the skill trades we mentioned, or engineering,
Right.
then this Australian Skills and Demand Visa, the 482, it could really be a pathway worth looking into seriously.
Definitely. These are clearly the areas where Australia is feeling the pinch the most right now. And it's worth remembering, too, these are broad categories we've discussed.
Good point. Like healthcare is huge.
Exactly. Within each one, there will be loads of specialized roles. So even if your exact job title wasn't mentioned just now, if your work falls under one of these big umbrellas, healthcare, tech, trades, engineering, it probably makes sense to dig into the specific requirements for the Subclass 482 visa.
Absolutely. So this deep dive, it really gives you, the listener, a focused snapshot. A snapshot of the Australian job market right now, seen through the lens of this key visa.
It's a clear signal, like we said earlier, of the skills and the professions Australia is actively trying to attract from overseas. And this prompts, I think, a really crucial thought for anyone listening.
Which is?
How well do your own skills, your career path, maybe your ambitions, how well do they actually line up with these international needs that are so clearly defined here?
Right. So if any of these sectors, we talked about healthcare, tech, trades, engineering, if they resonate with your experience.
But yeah, taking the next step to investigate the details of the Subclass 482 visa, that could potentially open up some pretty significant opportunities for you.